Hey guys, so it's lunchtime and it is day 3 of the Supercharged Energy Healing Challenge. I'm sitting here outside of Kagan Coffee and Crepes in Richland, having this amazing crepe. Let me flip this camera around so you guys can see this thing. It is really quite delicious and beautiful, and the presentation is amazing. So before I really jump into the energy hack for today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about noticing energy. So when as I drove around the parking lot here, I was looking for a place to stop to eat, and some of the other restaurants, I sort of had a couple of recommendations here or there, but I was just really paying attention and noticing how I was feeling. And honestly, I wasn't really feeling all that hungry. I think that with all the energy work that I'm doing, that's just one of the things that I'm noticing right now is it's definitely having an effect on my appetite. But I think also there's another aspect to that when you're noticing sort of that, the energy of your own consciousness and your body and what it's telling you. And I think we all do this all the time. Sometimes maybe we just ignore it a little bit, or sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're just directly guided and we don't pay attention to why we're doing things or how we're doing it, but it's really the energy. And so when I went into to this restaurant, I thought, first of all, like I said, I'm not really that hungry, but I had a recommendation from a friend also that it was a pretty good place, and I walked in and I was like, wow, this is actually a really, really, the energy in here is really good. There were a lot of people, sitting, people having meetings. There was a few people playing chess. And the people that were cooking, that waited on me, the energy of their being and their personality was just very nice. And so these are things that we can begin to pay attention to. All of a sudden it's getting really windy out here. So this might have to be a quick one, as I don't know if the wind is going to kind of mess up the audio here, but let's just ask it to die down a little bit while I'm doing this. Perfect, thank you. So, anyway, that's just something, that I notice. And the more I, do the energy work and stuff, the more I pay attention to where is the energy the best? Where is the good energy? Where does it feel good? Where are people drawn? Where people are drawn, usually it's because there's a good vibe or there's good energy there. And so those are the places that, people feel good. Those are the places that, that I want to pay attention to, the things that I want to pay attention to. So anyway, you guys can share your thoughts on that with me. Let me know what your ideas about that are. But today is the 3rd day of the challenge, and we're talking about energy hack number 2. Energy hack number 2 is grounding. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to sit outside to eat. But the temperature's pretty decent out here today. Although it may just be me, because my phone says it's 60 degrees out here, but it feels a lot warmer to me than that. So I know that I have been doing some things. I've gone ahead a little bit in the challenge, and I'm actually implementing a few of the things that we haven't really talked about yet, but maybe that's actually making a difference too in how I'm adjusting to the temperature and stuff like that. So anyway, enough about that. We're on to grounding. So grounding, really another easy one. I think that drinking enough water every day and charging or structuring your water is really sort of relatively on the easy side. I mean, not to say that, if it's difficult for you, and it's definitely a challenge for you, definitely keep your focus on it. Grounding is another one. Sometimes it might be hard for people to get outside. We had a really rough winter, and it was really hard to be outside in the cold and And even when, the snow went away, it was still kind of dreary and rainy and yucky outside. So for me, that kind of made me feel like I don't really want to be outside. But with this challenge, I'm not going to let those things get in my way. I'm going to, allow myself to get outside and be out in nature for 20 minutes a day. And that means, putting my feet on the ground, putting my feet in the grass, laying in the grass, letting the sunshine hit my body, and just being out in nature. Grounding is really important for, how you feel. Maybe even on a psychological level, we're not even really paying that much attention to, energetically or physically in our body, what it's doing. It just feels good. Sometimes we're just really drawn to certain, aspects of being outside, whether you're drawn to the beach and the oceans, or whether you're drawn to the forests, or, even here we have the beautiful river. So it's, just being drawn to go down there. I was just drawn to the river. Anytime I was feeling my energy kind of dipping, that's the first place I would go, and then I would feel better. Well, now there's a little bit of information here about the science behind that and how this is an energy hack. Because you're literally picking up negative ions, which are not negative. It's not negative energy in terms of like bad, low, that type of negative energy. It's negative in terms of the polarity. So, negative ions, negatively charged particles that are coming out of the earth and coming out of the water and kind of being, your body's being exposed to when you're out in nature. And that negatively charged energy flows into your body. It's the nature's antioxidants. If you look at how oxidation happens in the body, oxidation is a process where the cells are robbed of electrons, and it causes oxidation, like rusting. Rusting is an oxidation. So when we give the body these free flowing electrons, it can actually help to reverse that process of oxidation, which is the body's aging. The more we're out in nature, the more benefit we get from that process. So that is energy hack number 2. Make it a point every day. If this is one of the hacks that you're going to choose to implement, make it a point every day to go outside, let yourself be on the ground. Could be gardening, could be just having your hands in the soil. Anything that you can think of that gets you in contact with the earth. And let's see what happens. All right, so this is day 3 of the challenge. I hope you're still with me. Please post your comments, questions, share this with your friends, and let's all hack our energy and hack our well-being and feel better together. Okay,